Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you develop a marketable skill, chase that skill with a good work ethic, always go the extra mile, develop some people and communication skills. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish in this country. A big thank you to almost 600 people that have subscribed to this channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. It'd be much appreciated. Also, a big thank you to over 37,000 views since starting this channel a little over 2 years ago. Had this young man, Saib Sejmenovic, with me for his this is our part two recording here, or interview, because he had almost 500 people that viewed his wonderful interview. And Saib, welcome back, and tell us some of the main questions you were getting, because again, we're trying to help people understand what they have to do to get their CDL license, which I think is a absolute no-brainer. So what were some of the main questions, Saib?
Some of the three main questions I got asked a lot was one of them were how long did it take to achieve your permit? What steps did I have to take to get into the school I went into? And the third one that I got asked, pretty much half of my Facebook messages were how to find a job. You know, if you're 18 to 20 years old, who will hire you and what you have to achieve. The first one I'll go with is the permit. The permit, you're going to go to the school. The school's going to pay for it. That's including in your total cost. It only took me 2 days. So you have to get your general knowledge questions, which is 50 questions. Air brakes is 25 questions in total. And then combination between air brakes and general knowledge is 20. So that if you pass all three of those on one try, you'll get your permit. Then if you fail one of them, you'll go back the next day. And then for the process of the school, you'll pretty much just fill out a form. They'll contact you. You'll come in for a one-on-one interview with the director of the school. And he'll pretty much, ask you a bunch of questions, make sure you're the right fit for the school. The last one I had.
Let me ask you this question, Saib. What did you do to prepare for getting that permit? I can see people asking that question as well. How did you
I
prepare for
used
that?
I used a bunch of apps as well.
Mhm.
Uh, Christ CDL. It's on an online
Okay,
app
how to
or
spell that? Spell
online.
that. Can you spell that?
CR or CRHIST.
Okay.
And then you can also go on the App Store, Google or Apple,
Okay.
download, CDL test prep.
Good.
You'll just have to select the state and it'll have, your general knowledge, your air brakes combination. And
Mhm.
then after you turn 21, you can get like your doubles, tankers, all your other endorsements that you'll need for most companies.
When you say doubles and tankers, you're talking about like the double-sized trucks and everything, the
No,
tandems.
the two trailers, the double tandems, and then your tanker endorsement to haul fuel and oil and whatnot.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I just, something that maybe, secondhand to you, I'm going to ask as somebody who is a non-CDL person questions that, I would have if I was doing this.
Right.
Okay. So then the next question then.
And then I'll go back to the permit one. Even during the school, the first week you're there, they'll be prepping for your permit test. You'll
Okay.
do a pre-test, same questions that are through the apps and whatnot. Then you'll do like a group session, and then you'll do another individual test by yourself.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
there through there, they'll encourage you to study on your own and get it done through there. But you can use a bunch of apps, online websites. But the one that helped me a lot was the one that I just said was Christ CDL
Okay. Okay. Very good.
online.
Very good.
And then the second one was obviously how to get into the school.
Hmm.
So you'll as soon as you type in the school's name, it'll have, you fill out a little application, your name, last name, phone number, email, and then you'll send that in. They'll get back to you. It took me only 2, 3 days for them to get back. They called me, make sure, asked me a little questions, asked me when I was able to come in for an interview. Went into the interview, spoke with the director, did another in-person interview, made sure, I was a right fit for them, and then sent me off to do my drug test and get my physical done.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And then the third question you've heard a lot about.
Was how to obtain a job at
Hmm.
such a young age.
Yeah.
18 to 20, you'll be, I wouldn't say struggling to find a job, but it'll be pretty hard to get a job if you're under 21, for insurance purposes and you can't leave the state. I tell, mostly everyone just go and get your class A. Class A allows you to drive the big rigs.
Hmm.
But even from 18 to 20, you can go find a local dump truck place. With your Class A CDL, you can drive Class B, which is like the box trucks or the dump trucks.
Okay.
Do that 2, 3 years, get used to driving. And then when you're ready to turn 21, you know, you can go to a big name, or even find a small mom and pop shop, as I call it. But even, I was thankful I found a company, in Mechanicsburg that did both Class A and Class B work.
Hmm. Hmm. Good, good. Well, and again, it's just a case of people just kind of overcoming the initial concern and fear. And again, I can't think of anything for people of that age, 18, 19, 20, where the potential, the earning potential is just, it's just off the chart for sure. And you and I talked about this off the recording, with the idea that you go from being um, the hunter to becoming the hunted, where they're actually looking for
Right.
you, and that is such a huge advantage in our country for sure. I mean, does that make sense to you?
It does. Everyone's looking for, workers, they'll give a big sign-on bonus or stay on bonus.
Hmm.
And nowadays, they just want people that are actually genuinely going to work and, have a passion for what they do, not just for, the stay on bonus and sign on bonus.
Right, right. Well, and again, I always kind of introduce these the playing it forward coaching as, if you develop a work ethic, chase it by always going the extra mile with a marketable skill. And that's the reason I'm saying that, because let's face it, if you're going to go for your CDL or truck driving, the lazy need not reply, okay? Because obviously you've got to have a real positive work ethic, because they're investing a lot in you, the rig, and so on and so forth. I mean, how has your work ethic carried you through so far, Saeed? Because I know you've been doing very well.
Good. My parents, taught me, always work harder. I hear it all the time, oh, it's easy to drive a truck, all you do is back up. Legally, we're allowed to work 15 hours. We're allowed to drive 11 hours a day.
Hmm.
So it's pretty much you just have long days. Sometimes you'll have short days, but it's pretty much, you just gotta work. It's some days, you'll have good days, where you're just driving, everything goes smooth. Then most days, you'll have bad days where you're actually out there for 15 hours a day.
Hmm.
Come home, you need a mandatory 10-hour reset. So, you'll have 10 hours off. Then who knows, the next day you might be back out for another 15 hours a day. So it's not for everyone. But
Hmm.
if you develop that work ethic, then you'll get used to it and actually enjoy doing that.
Sure, sure. Well, and as young as you guys or the ladies that are doing it as well, I mean, you guys are, physically, pretty much prime time and everything, coming up through your 20s, 30s, etc. And there's no reason why this can't be a great career for people your age and older for sure.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions that stand out, Saeed? This has been great, and we'll conclude it here momentarily.
Nothing else that really, there was just some other like little minimum questions like, should I do it? Is it worth it? Like I tell everyone, you have to have a passion for truck driving. You
Mhm.
can't just go into it for the money or
Right.
for whatever. You have to have a genuine passion for what you do.
Hmm.
So I was always into driving. I love driving cars, bikes, I was always into trucks. So for me, the driving aspect was one of the biggest things that also led me into getting my CDL.
Sure, sure.
So, like I'll tell everyone else, whatever your passion is, there's always going to be something for it.
Mhm.
College won't be for everyone.
Right.
So as long as you find that passion that you love, you'll make it out. Even if you're not making enough money, money isn't always the happiness, it's the passion that you have behind it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and to go along with the passion, one of the things I've always taught younger people is that what you want to do is you want to lead with your time, your energy, your talents, and put money after that. If you lead with money, but you don't have a passion for what you're doing, you're not going to last long in that
Right.
field. So your time, your energy, your talents are definitely, ahead of money. Money's important; it's a tool, but it's if you lead with it, you're a good chance you're not going to really be very happy. That's for sure.
Right, right.
Yeah. Well, Saeed, this has been great. And as I say, we'll throw a little teaser out here that you and I are going to try to put together a Facebook Q&A scenario that where you kind of be the pro and answer a lot of these questions. We'll try to get as many people to sign into that and at least observe and think about that field. So looking forward to doing this some more with you. Okay.
Definitely. Thank you to you, especially, letting me for the second time, speak about everything that I'm doing. Definitely all the comments. I know I wasn't able to reach back out to everyone, but everyone's showing love, all the comments, all the encouragement. It doesn't go unnoticed. So if I didn't reach back, I'm sorry. I'll try to, but thank you to everyone for doing it. And thank you for you again for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Sure, sure. Sounds good, Saib. So can you hang for a minute when we get done?
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you.
Okay, here we go.